This video will discuss the third phase of EDGE, ACT, which allows you to use the information from your EDGE results to set measurable goals. The EDGE program guides libraries of all sizes to set measurable strategic goals for digital inclusion. Our platform and assessment have seen the pivotal role that libraries play in digital access. And as libraries transition more and more resources and offerings online, digital access has never been more important. The EDGE process takes participants through 4 cyclical cycles: prepare, assess, compare, and act. With your EDGE assessment, your results are only as useful as how you act upon them. In this phase, you bring together all the pieces to establish what next steps your library will take. With the ACT tool, there are 2 ways to support your library with establishing an action plan. EDGE provides several toolkits to support you in defining your goals, and also the action planning tool within EDGE to create SMART goals tied to different parts of the assessment that can be downloaded or shared. EDGE toolkits are available immediately upon creating your EDGE account by clicking on the Toolkits section below your dashboard options once you log into EDGE. We have developed several toolkits to help inform your decision-making as you consider which priority issues to address for your library. Within the toolkits, there are articles, library examples, websites, tools, and tips intended to help libraries implement priorities identified in EDGE results. These topics span toolkits from creating your own community needs assessment to resources and case studies to supplement your library's programming around different EDGE indicators. To help libraries transition from their EDGE results into action, we created the Leveraging EDGE in Your Library toolkit. This toolkit supports libraries by providing resources and examples to take action, including setting SMART goals and longer-term action plans. To get started on your action plans, from your dashboard, go to the ACT phase and select the View button next to Create or Edit Action Plans. This will take you to the Action Planning page, which lists all 19 benchmark indicators. The indicators are listed in order based on the percentage, highest to lowest, of no or in progress assessment responses given for the question in each indicator. This may or may not match the priorities that you've identified for your community, but it does offer your library another analysis level to consider your results. We encourage you to use this information to help you continue to refine and prioritize based on what you know about your community and library needs. To get started on action planning, identify the indicator you would like to address and select Not Created in the Create/Edit Action Plan column. On the Create/Edit Action Plan page, you will see a series of fields. In order to create a SMART action plan, you or one of your team members will need to fill in each of the fields. This framework allows you to focus on goals that are SMART, which is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Your answers should be as detailed as possible. Click on Show Areas for Improvement to review the questions within that indicator, your library's responses, and the level of difficulty for each question. As I mentioned, by selecting Show Areas for Improvement, you will see a list of specific questions under this indicator, such as this specific example for Indicator 1.1, listing what the library has classes for. In the Response column, you can see which questions your library responded to as No or In Progress. These can provide you a guide to which specific area of your goal you may want to focus on, such as classes for information literacy, which may be in progress rather than social media, which is not currently in progress. In the difficulty level column, you will see the difficulty level that question has been assigned. This level represents the time and resources likely needed to make change in this area. Difficulty levels are represented by yellow circles. Level 1 circle questions, are considered foundational for all library types. These resources, activities, or programs are generally simple and low cost to implement. Level 2 circle questions, are generally applicable in most library communities, though a community needs assessment may reveal that some of these resources and services may not create as much value to your community as others. Level 3, three-circle questions, are generally more costly or difficult to implement but are at the forefront of innovative activities, resources, and services that will help put your library at the center of digital inclusion in the community. Level 1 recommendations are applicable to most libraries and are usually the easiest to achieve, making them a good place to start. The EDGE action planning tool is based around the SMART goal model. This model helps you avoid crafting vague or unclear goals that you and your team aren't quite sure of how to achieve. Rather, it provides a framework to develop clear goals that provide structure and identify what you want to achieve. A SMART goal is a goal that meets several criteria. The goal must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Each section of this acronym provides specific questions to think about how you can clarify your goal. From measurable, how will you know if your goal has been reached, to time-bound, when exactly will each step be completed? But what does this actually look like in practice, and how can a library use this framework? This goal is one that a library created using the EDGE action planning tool. Their ultimate goal, based on identifying it from their EDGE assessment results, was to develop and share a list of community organizations that offer digital services and resources in the community. Using this guiding statement, they then outlined information for each section of the SMART goal: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. To specify how they wanted to create this list of organizations, they had to outline the what, how, and why of the goal. Starting with specific allows you to start framing and considering the other components of your goal. In terms of measurable, how will you know that you have reached the goal? What will it look like moving forward? This example goal discusses what the final product, the list, and schedule will need to include, and then how frequently it will need to be updated moving forward. In terms of achievable, clearly outline where these activities will fall in terms of your library's plan or workflow, and use this section to have conversations with staff members about what may need to shift in order to achieve this goal. This example outlines that one staff person can compile this list, and updating the list and calendar will then become part of a specific staff member's regular work duties. In terms of relevant, you can demonstrate how this is important to your library and your community and why it's needed in the first place. This goal highlights that by creating this list, they are providing people with access to tools they need for improving their lives, but also strengthening and promoting their partnerships with community organizations. In terms of time-bound, providing a specific date, much like this goal does, gives you an endpoint, or crafting a regular schedule, as this goal also does for ongoing work on this goal. Once you have created an action plan or multiple action plans, you can then download them into an Excel document by scrolling to the bottom of the action plan page and selecting Download All. These will then download your action plans into an Excel spreadsheet. Congratulations! By crafting your EDGE action plan, you will have completed the ACT phase of EDGE. Thank you for taking the time to learn about EDGE today. You can create your EDGE account or log in to get started. Please contact platform support at libraryedge.org with any questions.